WrestleMania 42, Night 1 is in the book, so let's do a review. What did I think about it? Honestly, not much. It was a very forgettable, by-the-numbers WrestleMania, except the main event. The main event, for a moment, looked like it was going to be amazing and awesome. Cody Rhodes was wiping the blood of Randy on his chest, and then they decided to just go the complete lame and confusing route. They booked that main event almost perfectly right up until the last 5 minutes, and then it became an utter train wreck. The most exciting and unpredictable thing of the show was when Bianca Belair came out and announced she was pregnant. Honestly, that was the best part of WrestleMania. Oh my goodness. Montez Ford, you are now a heel in my book because I was looking forward to Bianca Belair coming back. In all seriousness, congratulations, both of you, but I don't want to go another year without Bianca. Anyways, let's start off with the first matchup after we talk about this belt on my shoulder. Randy Orton didn't win it, but you can, boys and girls. I'm going to give it away next Saturday, actually. Next Saturday, I'm going to pick a winner. All you got to do is comment below and be a subscriber to the channel, and you can win this belt on my shoulder. Going to pick it at a live stream to celebrate me getting 20,000 subscribers on this channel. But bonus, if you don't win the 20,000 giveaway, this is also eligible. Your comment is also eligible for the 30,000 giveaway. I'm going to give away a belt every 10,000 subscribers on my quest to quit my day job, people. So please help me out, subscribe, and comment. You can win this, not a toy, but a replica belt. You can win it. Yes, it could be yours. And yeah, let's talk about it. We open up WrestleMania with IShowSpeed and the Usos. I think they went back to the It's Just Us just us. And then we had IShowSpeed and The Vision. Paul Heyman was in the building, but he does not come out with them. I guess I understand that because it's supposed to be kind of a surprise later on, so whatever. And we have ourselves a match. I honestly thought IShowSpeed was going to do more. I was surprised with how quick this match went. I'm not saying that as a good thing or a bad thing. I'm saying it as a thing. And in all honesty, that's how in the past, that's how celebrities were treated. They only got little here and there while the other wrestlers picked up the slack. So this was a more traditional celebrity matchup, to be honest with you. I just got used to celebrities just being like 50-50 participants and, whatever. And what happens is, I had to go back and rewatch it because I was having internet issues, but at one point, IShowSpeed will accidentally bump into Logan Paul, which causes Logan Paul to fall down. Austin Theory gets super upset about it, and, this and that happens, and eventually, it will lead to Austin Theory taking the pin, and then Logan Paul will get mad at IShowSpeed after the match and berate him. He'll put IShowSpeed on the table, he's going to do his frog splash, but then the Usos and LA Knight, they take sympathy on IShowSpeed. They help him out. They set up Logan Paul so IShowSpeed can do a jump. And IShowSpeed got a lot of height. The dude's only 21 years old. I could see WWE wanting to get him involved once more. So we might have the Logan Paul sequel when it comes to YouTuber turned professional wrestler. Because as a character, IShowSpeed does get his character. So he does need to work on probably just his in-ring ability, though. But he got a power slam on LA Knight. And he did a couple things here and there. But for the most part, this was just a standard celebrity match. I don't think it should have been the first match on the card, but, whatever. It was on ESPN also. So it was the first match the Usos and LA Knight won with IShowSpeed turning face. I wonder how they're going to play this up on YouTube because IShowSpeed and Logan Paul are actually real life friends and they do cross over on their channels. But both of them are known to actually treat kayfabe as legit. So I wonder if they're going to have to make up on their channel. Anyways, it was a whatever matchup. Then we go to what was the next match? That was Drew McIntyre, Jacob Fatu. Honestly, it would have been a fine match. The problem was they made it an unsanctioned match, so you kind of like got certain levels of expectations. There was no blood. There was like just chairs, tables, nothing crazy. A toolbox, and Drew McIntyre had flashbacks of him and in the Hell in the Cell with CM Punk, and you're like a little wary of the toolbox. So that's a nice touch. But for the most part, it was just very like I don't know. Again, you kind of just had bigger expectations. They were going to be, you thought they'd be fighting all over the arena and stuff like that. I think they should have just made it a regular match if they weren't going to make it a crazy match. It needed to be a violent match, and it was just kind of like, I mean, he went through a table, but just a match before, I mean, IShowSpeed put Logan Paul through a table. So it's like, okay, Drew, you got put through a table too. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Jacob Fatu won, which I get that why a lot of Drew McIntyre fans would be upset. I like Drew more than Jacob, but I do understand giving Jacob the victory here. He needs to be elevated up the card, and this is an opportunity for that. And I don't see Drew, really falling down the card. He just came off a championship run and stuff like that. It's just like, honestly, if I would have booked the match, sometimes I like to complain, but sometimes I like to come up with solutions as well. Honestly, why did they just make it like kind of like a paddy wagon match where you have like, instead of an ambulance, it's, how you have ambulance matches where you have to get them into the ambulance and then you win. Well, have it a paddy wagon, a cop car or something. You have to handcuff the other person and throw him in the car, and that's how you win. And they get to drive off, go to jail for the night or something like that. Because a lot of the storyline was based on Jacob Fatu going to jail in the past, or at the very least have Jacob Fatu handcuff Drew McIntyre and then pin him. And then Drew could have an out saying, I was handcuffed and you didn't really beat me. And Jacob's like, yeah, I did, dude. It was an unsanctioned match. I get to do whatever I want. Whatever. It was a fine match. This would have been a really good SmackDown main event. How about that? This would have been a really good SmackDown main event. But instead it was a built up like WrestleMania match, so kind of a letdown, a little, just a little bit of a letdown. We go then to the women's fatal four-way. It's not a real fatal four-way, it's just whoever gets the pin first. Now, unfortunately, Nikki Bella was injured. Whether you like Nikki Bella or not as a character, you never should wish someone to be injured. So, like, unfortunately, she was injured. You have Charlotte and Alexa Bliss, then the Irresistible Forces, Lash and Nia, and then Bayley and Lyra. I really thought Bayley and Lyra would have won because of last year, Bayley getting kicked out of WrestleMania. And I thought that was the story we were telling, but no, they give it to Brie Bella and Nikki Bella come out. Nikki's injured, but they announce Paige from back in the day. Before the Women's Revolution, Emma, Paige, and AJ Lee, I believe, is kind of like the in-between of the Women's Revolution and the Divas division. And so it was nice to see Paige back, and please, I will not, like, people in the live chat just wanted to throw out some really rude comments to Paige in regards to her personal life. I ask that nobody do that. Whatever people do in their personal life, that's what they do in their personal life. Keep it to wrestling here on this channel, please. So from this point forward, if I see any lewd comments towards Paige or anybody else in general, I will, like, that doesn't have to do with wrestling, then I will like, just make you I'll ghost you on the channel. So please just keep it PG, okay? Thank you. And Paige, she came out, she looked good, had a matchup. This was just it was just a whatever match though to me. Unfortunately, I was spoiled going into this, so I was 99.9% sure that Paige was coming out. So like, I said earlier, this was a very predictable, like, paint by numbers wrestling event, WrestleMania, and so I will give this one that I was spoiled, so I can't be for sure how I would have reacted, because I really like Paige, right? I really like Paige, so I might have been like, oh my god, Paige, like, yes, I can't believe it, she's back, but I can't know for certain. So that said, when she came out, I was like, oh cool, Paige is back. Unfortunately, I was spoiled. And it wasn't by anybody on this channel. It was just like the dirt sheets and social media and stuff like that. But then Paige and Brie Bella won. I kind of felt bad for Nikki because if you think about it, Nikki's been back for about a year now, and she's lost, and then finally her team gets a win. She gets to be with her sister. They finally get to fight for the tag team champions, and then she's injured, and she has to give it to someone else for Paige. But props to Paige. I'm happy for her, and them in general. So yeah. Again, this match was just like, all right, cool, I guess. It was just too many participants. They didn't seem to, there was timing issues and whatnot. And so I'm not going to remember it. I'm just going to be a very unmemorable match. And the big takeaway here is that Paige has returned. We go then to... This might be out of order. I think the next matchup was it Gunther and Seth freaking Rollins? Let me see. Yeah, actually, well, whatever. So Gunther and Seth Rollins, they have their matchup. Seth Rollins comes out with his jacket that had like circles in the jacket. I hated his jacket. He also came out with like black contacts, which I didn't care about that, but his jacket, oh my God, I've never hated the jacket so much in my life. I don't even know why, but okay, so I hate the jacket. Gunther, they wrestle, and, it's a decent match. You kind of knew you were going to get a match. This one, the build sucked for this match, but they did the best they could. So this one is one of the few you get a pass, and you're just going to get yourselves a matchup. Eventually, Braun Breaker is going to spear Seth Rollins out of nowhere. This one, I was not spoiled, but if you even go back on my predictions, I believe Braun Breaker will come out and spear Seth Rollins, costing Seth the win. And I'm not exclusive. I'm not the only one who did that. I'm pretty confident other YouTubers did too. I'm not this like, ooh, I'm so smart. It's just, if you've been watching wrestling long enough, you kind of can, connect the dots on what they would do, what would make sense. And so when Braun Breaker did it, I was like, yes, that was the right play. So this is one of those situations where it's like, this was the right thing to do, and yet it was still so predictable that, I don't know, it's just like the rest of the card needed to be a little more chaotic, maybe. For this, the right thing to do, the predictable thing to do to still just make a lot of sense and be like you're satisfied with it. So I don't know. I don't know why. This WrestleMania just wasn't hitting it for me. It just wasn't hitting it for me. And I tried really, really hard. I drank a lot of Red Bulls even. I'm trying to pump caffeine in my system so I can be like, man, woo! I love this. But it's like, I'm still drinking the caffeine. This is number 5, by the way. And it's like, it was fine. It was a good match. And this was kind of like a Shinsuke AJ Styles type of matchup here, where you're like, ooh, this could be like this could be Randy Savage, Dragon Steamboat levels of excellence. And so when anything falls a little below that, you're like, yeah, it didn't live up to the hype. And I think that's what we did with this. Like, we're like, ooh, the best technical wrestlers. And I did enjoy the match. And I agreed with the outcome. It's just, I don't know. The rest of the WrestleMania just being kind of lackluster or low energy kind of made me feel a little low energy here too. So this was more of a victim of everything else. This match was a victim of circumstances, being it no time to build the storyline, to the fact that everything else was kind of like, there just weren't a lot of stakes involved in this match. And I'm not talking ribeyes, but if we were, medium rare, potato, broccoli, some bacon bits on that potato with sour cream, cheese, and butter. Sorry. I'm hungry. And then, so that match happened. Then our final match, Becky Lynch and AJ Lee. Becky Lynch is now a 3-time champion and also the best in the world. That's not just me saying it, folks. That's Sports Illustrated. That's also Bleacher Report, and that is WrestleChop, also saying that Becky is the best in the world. AJ comes out with a bunch of skipping kids. Let it be known, if you bring kids to your entrance, you will lose. Triple H just does not like kids, because John Cena had a bunch of Make-A-Wish kids come out, and he lost twice. Brock Lesnar and Gunther. I'm not sure if it was with Gunther, but definitely Brock Lesnar. But yeah, AJ Lee, excuse me, lost to Becky Lynch. This was their fourth matchup, and it was kind of a good sequence. They played off the turnbuckle being exposed and Jessica Carr being always constantly a thorn in Becky Lynch's side, and good stuff. I think this one suffered from the fact that this was a 7-month feud where they've already had 3 matches, and last month, 2 months ago, we had a WrestleMania or Becky lost the title to her at Elimination Chamber. It's almost like every match is like, it was good, but there's an asterisk with everything. The Jacob Fatu and Drew, that was good, but not violent enough. This was good, but they just had this match, or whatever. And then, the match I did like, though, was Trouble, Liv Morgan, and her song is so funny. I want you guys and gals to record yourself singing the Liv Morgan song and then send me a link. I want to kind of put all of us singing that song because it's so ridiculous. I love it. But Liv Morgan, she comes out, she faces Stephanie Vaquer, and Liv is just looking like beat up because when she got that, like, what is that? That knot on her head, it gave her 2 black eyes, all this stuff. She's fighting Stephanie Vaquer. I liked this match, honestly. This was the match that I was liking the most, to be honest with you. Like, I knew Gunther and Seth was a better match, but like I enjoyed this match because Liv just knows her character so well, in my opinion. Roxanne Perez will get involved, and so will Raquel Rodriguez, but ultimately Liv will take advantage of that and pin Stephanie Vaquer, and I liked it. This was my favorite part of the night so far. But then we go to Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. And I'm going to tell you this. I know it's sacrilege at this point. And anybody who speaks a positive word about Pat McAfee, unsubscribe. The channel's ruined. Like, you're a WWE shill, or you don't know wrestling or this. But I'll tell you what. This WrestleMania was so low energy that when we got to Pat McAfee, it was refreshing that everybody hated the dude, even if it was go away heat. I was into it. I liked that people had some passion. The fans, the audience finally had some passion, and it was all directed at this guy that they hate. So, I was and it got me into it. And then Pat McAfee was a jerk about it. He took the microphone from Alicia Keys and Alicia Taylor, and introduced Randy. And then before the bell rang, he's like, wait, don't ring the bell yet. And then he attacked Cody with it. It was funny. And then, this is the part I hate, though. We get to the part where I absolutely hate. Then Cody gets his receipt. He does a crossroads to Pat McAfee. He beats up Randy some. He puts Pat McAfee on the table that Logan Paul was on the table earlier. But this time, and then we look up and there's Jelly Roll. It's like, oh God, this was I did not want Jelly Roll. Okay, so how everybody's feeling about Pat McAfee, that's how I feel about Jelly Roll right now. Jelly Roll does an elbow off of table, and then Jelly Roll goes, and now it's just between you two. They take Pat McAfee away on stretcher, and then he does this thing where he's on stretcher and he gives a thumbs up to the crowd. He can only move his arm, and that's something that they did in the Detroit Lions a long time ago. And I know it's fake sports, but injuries can happen in fake sports. And I know this because I lived in Michigan when this happened and it was a big deal. Someone pretty much got they were is this guy paralyzed? And as he was getting stretchered out, he gave a thumbs up as he was being stretchered out. And so Pat McAfee did that here. I thought, oh my God, it was so funny. Maybe it was so funny because I'm from Detroit area. And then he goes from thumbs up to middle finger to the crowd getting stretchered out. I'm like, oh, jeez, I wish it was somebody else than Pat McAfee in the main event program, because everything he was saying and doing and cannot, just the way the fans hate him, I just wish he was somewhere else, in the mid card and not the main event. Right? Because then maybe more people would enjoy the absolute lunacy of this. But I get why in the main event he was not needed. But again, I wish I still think like there was a place for him, like as a GM or something. But whatever. We then have a match, right? And I guess there are rumors that Randy Orton's been injured. Now, I don't know if these are rumors that Triple H himself spread or if these are legit. These are legit, but commentary talked about it. And so I'm like, ooh, I don't know if this is legit or not, but they're trying to play off, oh, rumor has it that he's hurt. And anyways, this is what happened. So at one point, the match is just Cody beating up Randy. I'm thinking to myself, why is Randy fighting from underneath when he's the heel and Cody's the face? It's usually the other way around. The face is the one that gets beat up. So Randy's getting beat up. And Cody is targeting the back, the leg, the injured spots. Randy starts bleeding. And he still is beating him up. He's wiping his blood on him. He's listening to the crowd. The crowd is booing. And at one point, I'm like, oh my God, they're doing it. They're about to turn Cody Rhodes heel. Suddenly, I'm into it. I'm like, they're going to do it. They're going to turn Cody Rhodes heel. Cody Rhodes as a heel is awesome and amazing. Cody Rhodes as a babyface, boring. I love Cody Rhodes, but as a babyface, I've given the guy 2 years. This babyface run of Cody is boring to me. If you love this babyface of Cody, have at it. I'm not going to yuck your yum, all right? You can do it, but I can also hate this baby face Cody, or maybe hate's a strong word, but I definitely find it boring and I don't care about it. And that's even worse than hate, to be honest with you. And so like, I'm starting to get into it. I'm like, come on, Cody, feel it, Cody, be that heel. And he's doing it. And suddenly the ref gets knocked out, right? The ref gets knocked out, and I'm not sure the exact sequence, but at one point, Randy goes for a low blow, and then Cody blocks it, and he low blows Randy. And I'm like, what is going on now? Now I'm starting to get confused. I'm like, Randy's still acting like a heel. Cody's still acting like a heel. At some point, when the ref is down, Cody is down also, probably an RKO. I can't really remember. He's going one... so Pat McAfee comes running down with a neck brace, and he is in a ref shirt. So I'm like, okay, so I'm starting to think, is Pat with Cody? Or what's happening here? Pat runs in, and he does a 2 count on Cody, but it wasn't a fast count. If Pat was still aligned with Randy, why didn't he do a fast count? But he didn't. So I'm like, oh, he has to be with Cody. And then Cody gets up, right? And then Randy just RKOs Pat McAfee. And then one thing leads to another, and then Cody just wins because the other referee starts waking up. And I'm like, what just happened? Who is anybody a heel? Did they turn heel for one match? Because now Cody is acting like a babyface again. In that after the match, Cody's celebrating and Randy just clocks him with the belt. He clocks him with the belt after attacking Pat McAfee, and then he punt kicks him. He legit punt kicks him, but Cody won. I don't know what's going on here, and he holds the belt up. And now, so that's going to get sympathy for Cody. Like, I was cheering heel Cody. I didn't, like, Cody literally went good guy, heel, good guy again. And it's like, it made no sense. This legit made no sense. And like, we could say all day long, oh, well, wait to SmackDown. Triple H no longer has that kind of karma in the bank where I wait for his storylines to play out. Need I remind you that at Elimination Chamber 2025, John Cena went heel after 20 years just so he could turn babyface 3 days before SummerSlam because, oh, shucks, guys, I don't really want to ruin wrestling. I was just having a bad day. So, like, whatever happened tonight, I'm judging it on tonight. If they retcon it or change it up and make it make sense on Friday, good, great, awesome. Please do that. Please prove me wrong. But as of right now, Triple H's track record has sucked since WrestleMania 40, and I'm looking at this and I'm like, we were there, man. That was a heel Cody Rhodes. He had the facial expressions. He had the violence. He had the just everything. And then he goes back to being a babyface? Man, that sucked. Made no sense. Randy doing heel tactics, getting beat up the whole time. RKO's Pat McAfee, who should have did a fast count but didn't. And then he attacks Cody Rhodes, doesn't win, punt kicks him. What? What is this? What is this? WrestleMania is supposed to be a conclusion, like the end of a chapter, maybe even, and like it's okay for them to fight more. I'm okay with them fighting that Backlash, but what they did here was not it. That soured everything for me. Like they were there. It was a very mundane WrestleMania to begin with, and then they just they saw an opportunity to save it with the main event, and then they just botched it. And I can't even say it was like necessarily Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll who ruined everything, because if you even took those two out of this matchup, like the match wasn't really dependent hard on them, because Pat McAfee never did the actual 3 count. Therefore, he wasn't necessarily necessary for the story that they played out here. So, like, I don't know. This was not good. It ruined. At least if it was, like, this was on par to be a 5, a night 1. I was going to give it a 5 because, like, just 5 or a 6. Because I was like, yeah, I'll probably give it a 6. You know, things make sense why they're doing what they're doing, but it's just not, like, it's low energy, low effort. But now, because they totally just did a confusing, don't know where it stands main event WrestleMania, then I'm going to give this night 1, I'm giving night 1 a 3, 1, 2, 3.5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3.5. If you want to give it a 4, I could understand, but if you want to give it a 3, I could understand too. Maybe a 4. 3.5 to a 4, that's what I'm giving it. Like, I would not recommend it. This is a very forgettable, and just that main event, they were there. They would have just completed the turn, make Cody a heel. But no, like, we're all booing him. Even the crowd is booing him. What are you waiting for? Like, Triple H used to say it was the internet marks that were the problem, but the fans in the audience, they're still cheering. The fans aren't even cheering anymore. Just do it. All right, well, that's your review. That's your review of Night 1, WrestleMania 42. Let me know in the comments below what you think. We got hot takes, and we're going to do this again tomorrow. I'm a glutton for punishment. I don't care, you know. And I know there's going to be people out there who tells me I'm a nerd, I'm a virgin, I'm this. Like, how could you this? How could you that? It's fine, whatever. It doesn't faze me. Wrestling is for you to enjoy it your way. It's for me to enjoy it my way, and I hope we can enjoy it together, even if we have a difference of opinions. And if you think I'm just some 46-year-old dude crashing out over TV shows, then you're actually right. We agree on that. But the difference is I don't care. You care enough to comment on it, and that's fine, because then you get a chance to win a belt. See you, bye.